Cordell's gone.
I was about to say, this is the second episode of season 2. And we're already down. We're already down one. He's dead.
He's not dead. He's not down, but he's not here.
Which, you know what? For Pride Month, it feels right. Have 1 week.
Fitting.
Have 1 week with just the LGBTs.
Which just the gays. Because this is a junk house.
It's a psychobilly freak out.
Welcome back.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride. Happy Pride. We're here to we're not exclusively going to talk about Pride, but it is Pride Month and Pride Month.
No, not this time. But yeah. Have you been having a good Pride Month so far?
You know,
Been prideful.
you know, yes. Because so many shows have decided to release, so many shows that I watch have decided to just be gay this month. And we love it.
Good.
We absolutely love it. So stuff I'm going to talk about, just so we, if you're listening to this and you're not completely caught up on these shows,
Oh, yeah.
you know, maybe best to dip out for a bit. But I'm going to talk about Doctor Who, because new Doctor Who is so good. Specifically the episode.
And so gay.
It's so gay. I'm going to talk about Rogue. And I may talk about the Legend of Ruby Sunday. May talk about that episode because woo. And also Bridgerton. A little bit, because Bridgerton got very gay this season.
Yo, this is season 3?
Season 3 of Bridgerton. Okay. Which have you seen Bridgerton at all, or is this a?
I have not seen Bridgerton at all.
It's very good. I won't go into too many spoilers, just in case you decide you want to watch it one day.
Honestly, feel free to go into as much spoilers as you want. I probably will not watch it. To be completely fair and honest with everyone listening.
I'll say this. One of the brothers in this last season starts seeing a girl, and they are hooking up, and then the girl's friend with benefits also comes along, and it becomes kind of a little bit Challengers vibes. But that's, yeah, I mean, it's basically this guy sitting there, he's like, well, this is a new experience. Okay, this is good. And out of nowhere, it is somebody who's realizing, like, oh, maybe I'm not just straight. And then there is a whole storyline. And at the end of the season, there's some possible lesbian romance being set up for the next season.
Okay.
That's all I will say, is that much, that it is a bi awakening for someone, which was very good. And then some possible lesbian setup for the next season, which was all good.
Delicious.
Yummy. We're eating into the microphone.
Another small win for the gays. There is a Legend of Zelda game coming out. Where you play as the gay Zelda.
Because Link is gone.
Link is gone.
They killed.
Link fell into a void. We watched the direct earlier today, as of recording.
I want to say, okay, I wrote down predictions for this direct. And I will read them out loud, because I wrote down 3 things specifically. I wrote down Metroid Prime 4 gets delayed.
Seems like a pretty good prediction.
Seems pretty safe. I wrote down maybe some Zelda gets added to the classic console. No new Zelda.
All very fair prediction.
The third thing,
those two.
The third thing I wrote down, which I cannot believe. Honestly, looking back, this was stupid, but I wrote down Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon get added to the online console.
Ooh, okay. That would have been sick.
That would have been sick. I went 0 for 3.
Yeah, because the last announcement was Metroid Prime 4, and it's finally coming out next year. New Zelda game.
And I didn't see anything about Pokemon.
I don't think there was anything about Pokemon.
Which makes me sad for the Pokemon people. I'm sorry for y'all.
That's okay.
As a Zelda fan, okay. I know what it's like to have several directs with nothing for me. But the new Zelda game looks like it's gonna be good. I'm excited for it.
It was so much fun and so cute.
Yeah.
And new Mario Party.
And
it's called Jamboree, which everybody knows Jamboree is a gay word.
That is a very gay word. And also Smosh is a very gay channel, and a new Mario Party for them means just another 10 years of content. Is that what we're banking on right now?
1,000,000 years, 100 years content. Yeah, that was honestly the first thing I thought of was like, oh shit, more Don't Win Mario Party from Smosh.
More Don't Win Mario Party. But also, I'm interested to see what they do with the new game modes. Because a 20-player online game mode is insane.
Yeah, that would be crazy if they did like a live and they like got viewers.
Yeah.
To play with them.
I'm sure people would pay. Like, be like, hey, here's a number of dollars to be put into the line of people that get to play.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I would.
I might. But this direct is supposed to be the last direct for the Switch, is what I had heard. And that we're supposed to hear later this year, sometime in the fall or maybe the winter, more about the Switch 2. And maybe we'll even hear Switch 2 Electric Googaloo. I think Metroid Prime 4 and the Zelda are going to be the two that are released on both.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, it might be like a launch. They might be launch titles for Switch 2, but also Switch 1 games.
Yeah, and what I'm really hoping for is that the Switch 2 is backwards compatible and that like all the Switch games I have are not completely trash. But
same.
We'll see. We'll see how they do. We'll see what they decide to do.
We'll see how they do.
Yeah.
You know what else is really gay though?
What else is really gay?
One Piece.
We've
been watching and talking about One Piece a lot.
I've been watching. When did I start my One Piece journey? Well, I think we started around the same time. That's a good question. We started around the same time. You just got caught up way faster than I ever could. I feel like we've talked about this on the podcast before. Maybe.
I got into One Piece fully because of the live action.
Yeah, same.
And I'm trying to see when that came out. It came out last
summer, yeah.
But yeah, August 31st, 2023.
So like last September is when I started getting into One Piece. And if you're a fan and you're listening, I am now. As of last night, I have said goodbye to the Going Merry, and I've said hello to the 1,000-Year
but
Sunny.
yes.
So Frankie has just joined the crew. Also,
Okay, he's officially a straw hat.
Frankie
now.
is officially a straw hat.
Beautiful.
And I'm not going to talk too much about that specific thing. But yeah, the story's incredible. Also, listeners, maybe next week, maybe the week after, I'm going to bring back the experts only bit, and Sammy will get quizzed on One Piece up to where Frankie joins specifically. That will be the cutoff point. So anything before that is fair game, and I'm gonna try to make them some of the expert ones. I'm gonna try to make them pretty hard.
Okay. I'll study.
Yeah. And Cordell will be taking on the Cosmere. So both pieces of literature and media that they both love, but it's a little tease for what's coming up in Junkhouse, but we're going to talk about One Piece.
We're going to talk about One Piece.
Honestly, okay, what's your favorite arc? Because I feel like that might be the best way to tackle this.
That's a really good question. I'm going to bring them up so I can look at them with my eyeballs.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, the ones that I liked the most were all stuff in your future. But so like I'll just say the titles because then you won't understand. But like the Marineford, Impel Down and Marineford are pretty. I mean, those are cheap because those are everybody's favorites. But I really like Enos Lobby.
Enos Lobby, yeah.
Yeah. It's the vibe of Water 7 of like the city is amazing. There hasn't really been an arc that I have not liked, but like I really like Dressrosa as well. But damn, I think okay. I think my favorite is Wano.
Okay. See, these are all words that I know because they've said them. Because Sammy is red.
Yeah, I caught up by reading the manga, and I need to actually watch. But yeah. So reading them is obviously going to be very different.
Yeah. I am watching, and I'm also using a list from IGN of.
Is it like One Pace basically?
It's kind of yeah. I know what One Pace is, where it's like supposed to be like these are the episodes to skip to basically do that, and it is,
and it's supposed to be like in the more manga order too. One Pace is, so it's like watching it. You jump around a lot episodes wise,
yeah.
But that's because the anime like waits from stuff in like Romance Dawn for an example. There's like something in Romance Dawn that they wait until like 10 years later to
reveal,
show up on the anime type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm not doing One Pace exactly, but it is more just I'm skipping the filler stuff and the TV original arcs. Because, and I'll probably go back and watch the TV originals, but that's 30 episodes that are just fully not in the manga. And I love all my Straw Hats dearly. I want to be caught up to where the manga is, and then maybe go back and watch those filler arcs and the anime exclusive instead of that.
Yeah. The thing I would say you do, if it interests you, because I haven't done it, but I think it would be fun, is watching the movies in like the canonical order,
I want to do
because
that.
those are fun.
I don't know when.
Yeah.
I need to look up when they drop in. But
Yeah.
like when you're supposed to watch them, because it's not like. Have you ever watched My Hero Academia?
Yes, I'm not fully caught up, but I've seen
Yeah.
a good amount.
So like in those, you can tell when the movie is supposed to go in because there's an episode where they reference going somewhere that they never go in the show, and then the episode after that they start talking about that adventure, and it's so funny. And they're just like, yeah, we
Like,
bet you're gonna
oh,
watch this, you
okay.
nerd. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
at least One Piece has the easy thing of like, there's so many islands, and it's not like you see them for every island.
Right. Yeah. And yeah. But yes, One Piece is brilliant. I think of the arcs I've seen so far,
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Annie's Lobby is incredible.
Makes sense.
I'm a sucker for Skypiea.
I do not understand why so many people say you should skip Skypiea.
I think it's because they fundamentally misunderstand what is good about Skypiea. Like,
Yeah.
because it's a little slow at times, and I'll give them that. And like, it seems I have a theory that I've told you before about Luffy's lineage.
Yeah.
That if my theory is true and that Luffy's lineage comes from Skypiea and the Sky Islands, then 100% Skypiea is necessary. But
Yeah.
I think without that theory, there's a lot of it that it may seem like just filler and fluff more than anything.
Yeah. But like, you're not the only person that has that theory. That is a pretty popular theory that Luffy has connections to Skypiea. Some people even think that his father is like a direct descendant from Kalgara.
I believe it, and I like looking at it, and like I don't know. This is where it's kind of interesting like having friends who are caught up with One Piece and not being caught up.
Yeah.
Is I talk about stuff, and like sometimes I'm really on to something that I probably shouldn't be on to this early, but I just know how stories work. So
Yeah.
far, a theory that I have that is not based in anything other than noticing, like, hey, there is a naming convention in this show that if someone has D in their name, like Monkey D. Luffy, or we know we have Monkey D. Garp, Portuguese D. Ace, for some reason, and I don't know what it's called, and I've been calling it the power of D. It is like they are way too powerful almost, and it's not because of, and it's not even like they're powerful. It's more just like they're like a force of nature. It's like the moment that made me have it. I'll tell you the exact moment.
Okay.
Was in spoilers for Annie's Lobby, and if you're watching on Netflix like I am, Annie's Lobby and CP9 arc. There is a moment where Luffy is fighting Rob Lucci, and Luffy says something along the lines of, "Until I beat you, I will not fall again." And then there's a moment where he stops an inch above the ground and pops back up after being like beaten to a pulp by Rob Lucci.
Yeah.
And
great fight.
Like, that was one of the my wife is not watching One Piece with me, but she watches some episodes if I'm watching, and she just walks in the room and gets interested. And that was one of the fights where she said that was an anime fight. That was an anime fight. And in that moment, that's when I started thinking, I was like, oh, everyone with the names, it's like force of will almost. Like how insanely, like, they say something and it will be true. It is, you know? I'm way
So,
on to something based
Do you
off
just
Tammy's
want?
reaction.
Do you want me to say it, or do you want me to just let you? Keep
You can say
fun
it,
down
because
the
this is the
story?
other thing. I fully believe with One Piece spoilers, they never matter, because it's not
Yeah,
about
this one-
the spoiler. It's about the journey getting there.
So you called it the power of D.
Yeah,
In canon, it is known as the will of D.
that's insane.
There is all of these people that have the initial D in their name, and the only thing that we know about them is that the world governments says anybody that has the D in their name is like against God, is like a agent
Holy
of
shit.
chaos, agent of rebellion, chaos. Yeah. So like they're not, it doesn't make them more powerful. Like Luffy isn't just more powerful because he's Monkey D. Luffy,
Yeah.
but there is something in the lineage, in the name, that ties everything. Like you already met Saul.
Yeah,
the
Jaguar
giant.
D Sol. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Dragon, Monkey D. Dragon.
Yeah, Monkey D Dragon, Portis D Ace. There have been a few people with D in their name that I'm always like, why are you like insane? Like, why are you so good?
One of my favorite characters, Trafalgar D. Water Law,
Yeah, okay.
is
I was
also a D.
yeah.
Wait, I might have. No, okay,
I've
it is
seen that.
I thought I put the D in the wrong area.
Okay. I was about to say, I've seen his name around. I have not met Law, but I'm very excited for Law.
I love that. I love that man.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, Annie's Lobby, Skypea. That's the thing, is that, like, listeners, if you've ever thought to yourself, One Piece has a lot, and I don't know if I have the time to catch up to all of that. As somebody who's doing it, I'm going to catch up within a year.
You have time.
Yeah, A, you have time. And B, I've seen this term on TikTok and Twitter. One Piece math is real.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because they say, like, you know, each episode is about 20 minutes. That's a lie.
That's counting to like
That's
intro to outro.
If you're using Netflix or Hulu, there is a skip intro button. I promise you, listen to the theme song once or twice. You got it. You don't need it anymore. And in the, I think starting in the Enies Lobby arc for the anime, they started including the stinger for the Gold Roger getting yeah, again.
Yeah, the story opening.
The story, yeah, they started including
Gold
how
Roger was the king of the pirates.
They started
Brock.
including that again, which is another 3 minutes. So you're shaving off 6 minutes at least at the beginning of every episode. Each episode, 15 minutes at most.
You can do it.
I'll watch. I'm not joking. 12 episodes a day at that place, and you may be thinking, "Oh, Caleb, you're saying no." The best, okay, here's the best way. If you're ever like, I want to get caught up on an anime, here's what you do. Look at that pile of laundry in your room or somewhere, and you're going to start it. And you're just going to get through it. And that is, by the time you're done with that laundry, everything's done. You're caught up with the anime, I promise you. Because you probably have ADHD if you're listening to this show.
Let's be honest.
And you're probably also LGBT.
Yeah.
which means
Yeah.
laundry.
You can do it. I believe in you.
You can do
The-
you can do it.
Two things though. I was watching some One Piece videos yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the dudes made a point that I agree with very much. One of them was if you get to Arlong Park and you're just not in it still, like if Arlong Park and Nami's whole backstory doesn't get you involved in One Piece, you're done. You can probably head off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I forgot the other thing I was gonna say.
I mean, I'll
But
say
it's like-
I sent you this video, but this is when my wife was watching along and she started dying laughing next to me on
Yeah.
the couch. And it was such a funny moment that I had to send it to Sammy. But I believe her words were, "This show is ridiculous. These people were just talking about a genocide that was just done. And then it panned
Mhm.
over to a man wearing nothing but a Hawaiian shirt and panties."
Yeah. That is just. Yep.
Yep.
That's the epitome of One Piece.
Yeah. And yeah, I love it. And I'm going to be real, going back and like watching, because Olivia's now like, "Hey, let me watch the first few episodes. Let me watch the first few episodes with you." So we've been going back and watching. And even as a person who loves Luffy's a lot those first few episodes.
He can be a lot, yeah.
You get used
Even
to
in
him.
the later episodes.
Yes. You get used to
But
it,
no, yeah,
though. You get used to it. You get used to how Zoro is. You get used to all of it. And you grow to love them. You grow to love them. It's such a good show. Okay.
Oh, I remember my other thing.
Oh,
real
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Wait, did I forget it already? Did I say I remembered and then I forgot it?
That's extremely relatable.
Yeah, keep going. I literally was like, I remember. And I was like, remember to say this. And then I just forgot.
Well, I was also just going to say, you were exactly right. That if you get to Arlong Park and you still
Yeah.
don't like it or love it, it's okay to dip out. It's okay to dip out.
If it doesn't invoke any emotion in you at all, then
Yeah, it's understandable.
see ya.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya. It's okay.
One Piece is not going to be for
get
you,
it.
and that is totally fine.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like, because I think Arlong Park sets up, I think, and this is something we could probably have a whole podcast about, but
Yeah.
I think Arlong Park is the most important arc in the first third of One Piece. Because
I completely agree.
It
Even just
sets
looking
up.
at it, like it's. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
go.
probably one of the most important arcs before the Grand Line. It probably is the most important arc before they get to the Grand Line.
Yeah. I genuinely, yeah. And because it sets up how the emotions are driven for the show. Of you meet the character, you learn some about the character, and then you see their story, and you learn sometimes how good things are, and sometimes how bad things are.
Yeah.
And it also sets up like Arlong is an incredible One Piece villain.
Yeah, he's sick.
And
And
like,
it kind of teaches you how the villains are going to be built too.
yeah,
Because
like
Oda builds out the villains.
He does, and it like one thing Oda does incredibly well is when you think a villain is at their most powerful, there is always a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And Arlong is kind of the honestly the first big one that can do that. Like you could make
Yeah.
I think you could make a I cannot remember his name off the top of my head right now. But the leader of the
Kuro
yeah
in Syrup Village.
in
the guy,
Syrup Village, the
what's his name?
cat pirates, black cat pirates.
Black Cat Pirates.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like the leader of the black cat.
Yeah,
pirates.
Captain Kuro.
Captain Kuro of the Black Cat Pirates. You could make an argument for him. He's a good villain. But I think Arlong is a lot stronger, and I think the Arlong to Inaru line is a lot shorter than the Kuro to Inaru line of like how they are built.
Yes, I agree.
And honestly, Inaru terrifies me as a villain still to this. Like he's been, air quotes, beaten, and I'm still terrified.
I don't know if they do it in the anime, but I know that Oda has a lot of like covers that he does, like inside covers that are cover stories. So they're just like little drawings, but it's also like the first time Buggy was beaten, you know how he got launched away.
Oh yeah.
They did cover stories of him getting all of his parts back.
So
going around.
The anime does that in an interesting way that they will devote a whole episode to it instead. Okay. And you will see it that way.
So I don't know if they have done it for I honestly have been calling him Enel because it's Enel or Inaru is basically like either of them.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
It's kind of like the Zoro versus Zolo thing.
Yeah.
Because like the early manga, it's Zolo for Zoro.
Yeah, which no, but he had a cover story where he like got his ship and like went to the moon and like met some little alien creature.
Yeah, so the anime touches on that a little bit, but it does not like go into it.
Okay, so as far as we know, he's just on the moon.
Inaru being on the moon, yeah. But also, if you want to get into One Piece, the live action is a great place to start.
It's really good.
You know, it leaves out some stuff, but that's okay. It
compresses it a lot.
Yes.
Like, you don't know about Garp being Luffy's grandfather in the manga or the anime for like...
I just got it, and I'm at episode like 330.
Yeah. But yeah, in the live action, it's like one of the main things.
It's like episode 8,
pretty early on.
Yeah, I think you find out in like episode 2, and then
Dude, I'm so ready for more live action. I mean, I've been reading weekly One Piece as well, dude.
I'm very ready for live action season 2. I'm so ready. I have seen the set photos being leaked as the sets are being built. Makes me very happy. You know, they built a model, or they built a life-size Going Merry tilted up at an angle, which makes me and makes a lot of people think they're going to have a whole episode of them going up Reverse Mountain.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's probably how they're going to do it because that shit's crazy. Do you think they're going to do Laboon?
They have to. They have to do Laboon. I will be, because, Laboon really sets Baroque work into place, because that's where you first meet, I think they call her Miss All Sunday at that point. And Is it Miss All Sunday or Miss Golden Week?
I think
Whoever
Golden Week, 'cause I
Vivi
don't
is.
think.
I think whatever Vivi's name is. Or
Yeah.
Miss, yeah. But that's where you meet Vivi and her partner for
Yes.
that we know. And it sets up Drumtown, which I don't think they're gonna do the Drum Village to its entirety. Or not Drum Village, because that's the Baroque Works Island where they wind up getting attacked.
Drum Island.
Drum Island.
Whiskey Peak.
Whiskey Peak. I don't think they need to do a full Whiskey Peak episode.
I don't think so. Well, okay. The only reason I want a full Whiskey Peak episode is I need to see Zorro fighting all of Baroque Works. In live action.
That
and beating all of them.
Yeah, because that episode was the way they did that in the anime. It took 2 episodes of just Zorro fighting, and it was beautiful.
Luffy!
Just him trying to wake everyone up while being like, I can do this, but come on, guys, like, come on, help me out here.
Well, the scream I was doing was when Luffy is like fighting him because Luffy doesn't know that it's Baroque Works and Whiskey Peak. He's like, these people were nice and gave us food. So he starts fighting Zorro again.
That's right.
Luffy! But yeah, I
don't think they need to do a full episode of it. That could be a half episode.
I don't know if they're going to do Laboon.
I will cry. I will cry if Laboon does not get a mention, at least is shown on screen. I will cry. I love Laboon so much.
I think they're going to show him, and they got to talk about Crocus. You got to talk about Crocus.
They got to talk about Crocus, and that's the only reason I think they have to do Laboon to some degree. Is that. But
that's fair.
From the casting announcements that Netflix has made, we know some of the stuff we're getting. Because we know we're getting Robin will be introduced at least. We know Vivi's coming in.
She's gonna be Latina.
She's gonna be Latina, which is gonna be very good. And if you're out there and thinking Robin can't be Latina because Oda at one time said that Robin's character tropes were based on Russian people, get fucked.
Yeah. Also, like, okay, I love post time skip Robin, but pre time skip Robin is pretty peak.
She's crazy. She's terrifying. Her devil fruit powers scare me more than any of the other ones I've seen.
Especially after that interaction with Frankie, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. That cracked me up. I was
gripped by
dying laughing. But
dude, Robin is the best. Like
Robin's so good. Robin's so good. Yeah, that moment. That is one I will not fully spoil for people because that moment was just it was like 1 a.m. and part of the reason I watch One Piece at the hours that I do is because I work until 2 a.m. most nights and I work from home on a computer. So I have it on and I'm watching it and doing my work. I fully put my computer to the side because I was laughing so hard at that moment. It was so, so funny. So good.
Water 7 is so good.
Water 7 as a whole thing is so good. And he's lobby, incredible. I'm excited to see more about the 1,000-Year
Sea Train.
The Sea Train. Yes. Okay. But I think we are getting, I think from the casting announcements, we are getting one of what has been my favorite Grand Line arcs, which is the Little Garden. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
because the casting announcements really make it look like they're changing how Little Garden is gonna be to a degree.
Okay.
Because one of the points of Little Garden is when they get like, encased in wax and they're stuck there and like wax is infused in their body and all that stuff. And it seems more like they're going to lean
Yeah.
into the creepy little girl that could paint stuff and it would hypnotize people. Probably because I don't know how the wax thing would look in live action. It may look a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, it would still be
It would still be
pretty
cool,
sick, but
but
you know that little girl doesn't have devil fruit powers?
yeah, it's just like a technique, which is insane. It's crazy. It's kind of like when we were talking about Annie's Lobby, and I'll message you quite a bit about this kind of stuff. I really think they introduced too many devil fruits all at once in that arc.
Yeah.
Specifically with uh oh gosh, the two people from CP9 that got devil fruit powers in the
Kaku
midst of the
and
arc.
I forget the
Yeah,
lady's name.
that's what I knew. I remembered Kaku, but I'm spacing on her
Soap
name.
lady.
Soap Lady, that's her new name. That's her new
That's her new
name.
name. Oh,
Oh,
there's
Colleen or Khalifa. Yeah.
So that yeah. There's a lot of guest artists are like fans of One Piece. Also, mangaka artists have taken scenes and like done their own little comics of them. There was one guy I can never remember his name, but he took that fight between Nami and her and like just made it super sexualized.
Oh my
like even more
gosh.
than Oda did. And and it's like I'll have to find it because it's very weird. But
I believe
it's
it.
great.
I
Soap
believe
lady.
the Soap Lady. Yeah, like Soap Lady, and then Kaku. It's just a lot. It's a lot, and I feel like it was too much.
Yeah, that's fair. But Kaku's great though, right?
Kaku is
Is that your
great.
opinion?
Kaku is great. So my opinion honestly is that CP9 could have been kept at a type 5 members. Would have been great. 3 of them I felt were completely unnecessary. Those 3 being I in our friend Discord, they were the 3 I ranked as the lowest members of CP9 because I hated them so much. There was one
Let me
member,
see.
Kumadori, who's
Yeah.
like this giant pale person. One of their eyes barely opens, and they have control over their hair and can grab people with their hair. I would rather eat a actual brick than deal with Kumadori again. Like Kumadori just
fair. That's
annoyed
fair.
me so much. Like
Yeah.
I have started getting into competitive One Piece card game, like the card game, and started to build more
Yeah, we both
competitive
have,
lists.
but I haven't been as deep.
Yeah, and like I've played online with some people. I've started theory crafting with some of the cards and getting into all this stuff. There is a competitive deck that has a Kumadori card that I refuse to play because I hate looking at the art because it makes me think of the character. Like that is the level of hatred I have for Kumadori. I hate this guy so much. I hate him.
Dude. I mean, fair. He's kind of just One Piece's Bayonetta. And I'm not saying Bayonetta's bad. I'm just saying she has the same power of like hair control. He's a worse version of Bayonetta.
It's also, I'm not going to lie. The way a character is voiced is so important to me. And
That's very fair.
I'm not saying that the voice actor is bad. The choice they made for Kumadori's voice is horrible to me. It is one of those voices that I hear and I'm like, nope. I know I'm going to hate this. I'm going to hate this.
That's a no for me, dog.
That's a no for me. Which, to be fair, I also thought that about Chopper's voice at first, and now it's grown on me, and Chopper is a great character, and I love Chopper, but Chopper also terrifies me now because of the 3 Rumble Ball incident. But
oh, yeah, fair. But he had to.
He had to. That doesn't make it less scary.
Yeah, no, it's fair. You're so fair. I'm just waiting for you to get post time skip. I'm ready. Well, you gotta be in some pain before that.
What? Okay, so what?
I'm sorry.
Are the 2 arcs, like pre-time skip, post-time skip? What is the arc I'm looking for that it's like this arc happens, then time skip?
Okay, so the last arc before the time skip I'm double checking, but I believe is post-war. There's like a post-war arc, which is after the Marineford. So Marineford and post-arc. Post-war arc. And then Return to Sabodi. The Return to Sabodi is them getting back together.
Okay.
And that's the start of post-time skip.
Okay. So I will look for those and know, okay, it is almost time.
You're really close to how do I say this? You're basically 2 arcs away from a lot of solo Luffy stuff.
Really?
And I won't explain exactly why or how, because that's the fun part of it, is figuring out why. But yeah, so like after you are in, have you got to Thriller Bark yet?
I have not. So Frankie, like literally last night, the last thing I heard was basically Frankie is part of the Straw Hat Pirates. And then they pulled Usopp back on board. And then we were done, you know?
Yeah. So you basically got this next place you're going to, Thriller Bark, and then this kind of the start of the Luffy stuff in the next arc.
Okay.
Which is the Sabodi. When they go to Sabodi. It's Sabaody.
I'm excited for Thriller Bark because I believe a character I have been excited for just based on the looks is introduced in Thriller Bark.
Is it the guy that has a really good competitive card who looks like a little weird demon, a big weird demon? With Gecko Moria.
So Gecko Moria is one of them that I'm excited for. I'm also excited for Brooke.
Ooh,
yeah. Gecko Moria. Yeah, Gecko Moria is, if we're okay. Yeah, Brooke is who I'm very excited about.
Damn. Yep, I totally forgot that he jumps in. A lot of people don't like Thriller Bark.
You know what? I'll wait and see what happens. I'll wait and see. But yeah. Also, just wanted to say right now, if you're like me and you like the One Piece card game, or you want to get into the One Piece card game, here's what I'm going to say. Do it. It's not expensive to get into, honestly.
No, yeah,
You can buy some of the top tier meta decks for less than $20.
it's baller.
Also, yeah,
Even some of the alt art cards are really not that expensive yet.
not at all. No, it is. It's really good. Including, you know what? Here's what I'll also say: if you want to get into it and you want like how there's commander decks for Magic that you can just go buy a commander deck that's pretty good. Go buy the Three Brothers starter deck. You can get it for typically around $30.
Do it.
And I'm here to say I bought that deck. I do not regret it. It's very good. It's a very good deck. And a lot of those, and just from that deck alone, you have almost half the cards that are in the top 3 tiers of the meta. So,
Especially in leaders, right? Aren't the
yeah, the Three Brothers are all top tier leaders. Because you have a black yellow Luffy. You have a red yellow Sabo, which is the one I was ran against you prior to this, and the blue yellow Ace are all three. The black yellow Monkey D. Luffy is considered tier 2 right now, and the Sabo and Ace are considered tier 4.
Cool.
Yeah.
They're good. They're hot.
They're very good. Top 3 decks in the meta right now are blue black Sakazuki, mono black Gecko Moria, and red purple Trafalgar Law.
Makes sense. He's hot.
He's great. He's very good. Actually, that red purple Trafalgar Law has stayed up there. It's been meta for a while.
Yeah. Hey, but it's still only $1.04 if you want to buy it.
Yep. And there are some expensive decks. Like if you want to get fully tricked out decks, but the most expensive deck I've seen is $80. So still for a trading card game, fairly affordable.
Yeah, nowhere close to Magic prices, Pokemon prices. Like shit.
Yeah. Mostly because it's a new game.
It's fresh, but it's One Piece. So like everybody that liked One Piece has been playing it.
Yep.
So it's getting popular.
It's a great game.
There was a scene in Fort Smith, Arkansas for One Piece. So for One Piece card game. Yeah.
There is this is like I wish I worked more daytime hours. Because there is a scene in Tuscaloosa to the point where every Friday night there is a championship. And I want to get in on it.
Okay.
I want to get in on it, but I want to get in.
But you're working all the time, goddamn.
Yep. Working nighttime hours sucks. I don't suggest it to people.
Yeah. Same.
Oh.
Bah.
But yeah, games are incredible. We love games here. And a lot of games are coming out.
We're a huge fan of games here.
And we're a huge fan of One Piece here. Even though Cordell hasn't read it, we know he's a fan.
Yeah. He loves the idea of devil fruits and has read a lot about them.
Which is surprising to me. But I get it. You know what?
One Piece is good.
One Piece is good. And you know what? You know what else is good?
What?
I'm gonna say 2 different ways. The theme that I wrote, that's now opening and closing the this show. and or Psychobilly Freak Out by the Reverend Horton Heat off the album Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em. Depending on when I finish the theme, because it's almost done. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Okay. Well, if you liked this, you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Why don't you also give us a thumbs up on this episode on YouTube and like and subscribe? Thumbs up. That's what all of those things are. We also have a TikTok and a Twitter at Junkhouse Pod if you want to check those out. One Piece is great.
If you want to email us, you can. That email is junkhousemmailbox@gmail.com. And this week we have an email. It's from Cordell. And he says, don't pretend that I wrote in an email just to make a joke about me. I don't know why he felt the need to say that, but...
Okay.
All right,
cool.
Cordell. Cool, Cordell.
We miss you, Cordell, even though you're probably not listening to this.
You're probably not listening to this, and that's okay.
And that's fine.
It's okay. And like we say, every single week.
Luffy D's nuts.
Zoro is gay.
He is. There. I've seen a lot of art on.
I've seen so much.
Twitter.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of art. Seen a lot of art.
Sanji and him be kissing.
Kissing.
It's like a Billy Freak Out.